Hi-ho, and howdy everybody. My name is Shannon, and welcome to episode number 11 of Katawa Shoujo. When we last left off, we went off into the town to go and go grab some groceries, because we need muns and such. Nope, muns is food. No, muns is the money with which to pay for... We had muns. We was getting grubs. And I don't mean like a bug. I mean grub as in like food. And on our way there, we met with Lily. She was chilling out there. She's like, I got to go to get some groceries too. Only she said it in a wannabe Scottish accent. Because I said it and it's not a good accent, therefore. It's very bad. I am bad. And then she was like, what's up? And I was like, what's up? And then we were like, let's go. And then we was like, let's go. And so we all went to down, and we in there. We bought some stuff. She was all like hanging on us. It was adorable and shit. And then on our way home, we just stumbled across some armless chick whose name happened to be Rin, and she was like, what the fuck am I doing? And we're like, what the fuck were you doing? And then we never found out what she was doing. But we all was like, come on, let's go back to school. So we're all walking back to school. And then we was having like... My boy was breathing like me on a bad day. And it was all bad and it was looking bad. And so we just up and went and told Lily that we's got the arrhythmia. She took it pretty well, but she didn't take it super well. But she was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. Yeah, and then we reached school, and then Rin started losing her shit because the fucking mural isn't done, and that needs to get done soon. You know how it do. Anyway, so now we're back here in school. It is the next day, and we're in class. The students roll into class for this... Damn, that music was so close to being on perfect timing. For the Saturday morning session, each and every one of them sporting the tired eyes of people who've worked through the night. With only a day left to prepare, I suppose it's not so surprising. Thankfully, we only have to suffer through classes until the lunch break, and then our time is our own. Muto lurches into class when a tiger stagger. I suppose students aren't the only people who have to enjoy their late Friday nights. Without saying a word, he scrawls some page and question numbers on the board and slumps down at his desk. It's completely atypical behavior for him, but it appears that no one in class is going to call him out on it. Wordlessly, the students shuffle their textbooks into position and get to work. Not wanting to break the trend, I do the same. Fatigue has made the class antisocial. Not a peep is heard among the ruffling papers. That can partly be attributed to the two empty seats beside me. For some reason, Misha and Shizune aren't present, probably doing council work for the festival. It's very quiet without Misha present. I wonder if she was born as rowdy as she is, or if she's making up for Shizune's lack of a voice. Nikai, can I speak to you for a moment? I'm so engrossed in thinking about Misha that I don't even notice Muto approaching my desk. Sure. What's this about? It's probably better if we speak outside the classroom. Something about this doesn't sound super good, but I stand up and follow him out into the hallway. Muto stands in the hallway, scratching his head as he works out what he's trying to say, not knowing what's going on. I wait silently. So, tell me, how are things? Things? I expected Muto to be a little vague, but this is pushing the limits. You know, things. You've had a week to settle in now. How are things? Fine, I guess. I see. And how is your condition? The pause before condition seemed a little unnecessary. I haven't had any problems so far. A brief shimmer of relief passed across Muto's face. Good, that's good. The school nurse was a little concerned that you might have been pushing yourself a bit too hard. He asked me to keep an eye on you when he couldn't. That makes sense. I'd ask that you don't blow us off so freely. As much as we try to give you the level of education that you would get at a normal school, you have to realize that you have limits. Our goal is to make sure that you know where those limits are, and how to maximize your potential within them. Do you follow me? I don't plan on doing anything stupid. Well, that's a start, I guess. So then, on to my next question. How are you finding your studies? I understand you were laid up a while. We're not too far ahead, are we? I don't really think so. I tried to keep up when I was in the hospital, so it hasn't been too hard. Muto taps his chin and raises an eyebrow as he absorbs this information. Is that so? I suppose there are still students out there that realize the importance of learning. I wouldn't go that far. I was only trying to keep myself occupied in my little life support prison. Well, yeah, you gotta keep up with these things, right? That's exactly it. One wrong move in this world and you're left behind, right? Right. Wouldn't want that to happen. No, you wouldn't. Every week there's a new scientific discovery. Most of them mean nothing to the layperson, but any one of them could be the key to the next big thing. I'll keep that in mind. It's obvious that Muto's serious talk is over and he's gone back to his standard, slightly scatterbrained approach to life. I think in hindsight that I prefer him this way. He's slightly more predictable in his unpredictability. Well then, I think that's all I really had to say. Let's go back inside, shall we? My relief at that suggestion is insurmountable. Sure. You're the boss, right? Muto pauses for a moment. I don't think any of these students have ever said that to me before. For an instant, I consider replying to this, but something deep within me tells me to shut my mouth and get back to the classroom. A few of the students jump at the sound of the door, rapidly trying to pretend that they're working on the questions on the board. Some don't even bother, their heads slumped on the desk as they nap. Thankfully, it would appear that Muto doesn't even notice them. He returns to his desk and retrieves a scientific journal from one of the doors. I guess I got to him there. The class returns to the near silence that Muto and I had left in before our chat. Mixed feelings of tiredness and anticipation buzz around the room. Everyone here is either waiting for a chance to rest or the chance to get their last-minute preparations underway. The clock on the wall slowly ticks the remaining class time away until finally the bells cry out, ending the torment. Before you all leave, I expect the answers for those problems on Monday. The class sighs as one, instantly regretting slacking off, but still acutely aware of the more pressing issues at hand. The classroom empties in a blink and everyone rushes to their last-minute festival preparations. I stay behind and try to quickly finish the questions so I don't have to bother with it over the rest of the weekend, with the festival and all tomorrow. Apart from me, Hanako's the only one left, obviously waiting for Lily. It's weird that Lily comes all the way to our classroom to pick her up. I expect that moving around is at least nominally harder for her than it is for Hanako. But it's none of my business, and I naturally don't ask about it from Hanako. Despite the relative proximity of our seats, neither tries to strike up a conversation about that or anything else either, so an oppressive silence falls upon the classroom. Time passes in silence. It's probably just 15 minutes or so, but it feels much longer. I turn the pages of my notebook. Hanako turns pages of the novel she's reading. My pencil lead splinters against the paper just as when I was about to finish a paragraph. The sounds of my irritated sigh and subsequent fumbling around for a sharpener feel like they're breaking the mood in the classroom. Hanako keeps her eyes firmly away from my direction. Before long, Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. Hanako? She's off. Just like, hey, it's my buddy. Her name is all that it takes to make Hanako jump up from her desk and run to Lily. They talk quietly for a moment, but there isn't long before Lily leaves down the hall and Hanako idles back into the classroom, taking her seat once again. I watch Hanako out the corner of my eye out of sheer curiosity at the idea that the two would be separated. For a couple of minutes, she does nothing but sit with her chin in her hand, staring at the desk dejectedly. The boredom evidently becomes too much for her, though, her slender frame reaching into her bag and pulling out a small book. Come to think of it, that isn't the one I saw her reading at the library. She must be quite a fast reader to get through them at this rate. But why would Lily leave her to our own devices? Seems to be quite out of the ordinary, going by Hanako's reaction. Ah, that's right. I think Lily mentioned something about going into town today before Rin bumped into us. The thought of that walk makes me look outside. The bright sun and occasional people wandering around and enjoying the afternoon makes me yearn to get out of school, or at least do something other than sit here. Giving into one of my worst vices, procrastination. I know the feeling, brah. It's the worst, but it's also the best. It's the everlasting struggle. I decide that history is a subject best studied on a Sunday, or a Monday, or literally any other day than this one. I give a grunt as I lever myself out of my seat, briefly debating with myself whether or not to hang out with Kenji. Don't do it. It's a bad idea. It's dangerous. Don't do it. He doesn't strike me as the enjoying the nice weather outside with others kind of person, really. I guess I'll catch up with him later. Changing tacks, I briefly entertain the idea of talking with Hanako, but by the time I look at her seat, it's vacant. She must have left for the library. There's gotta be something I can do to kill the time. Okay, yep, I know exactly what this is now. Okay, to the library! To the library! The library seems like a good place as any to go. Hanako looked as if she was taken pretty off guard by Lily leaving, so she might want someone to talk to. Slinging my bag over my shoulder, I make my way out of the classroom. I walk down the hallway to the library, past a multitude of closed doors. No, I was right the first time. What the fuck, Shannon? Through each of the sounds of furious rehearsal can be heard. Rock music blares out of one door almost as loud as a concert. I guess that's one of the advantages of a private school. There are actually enough rooms to go around at a time like this. And when I think about it, the grounds of the buildings of the school are kept in pretty good condition. That can't be too cheap. I've heard that this place has some pretty serious benefactors. The walls of the library only partially insulate the noise of the festival preparations, but they're the only sounds to be heard. Not a soul stirs here, with everyone apparently enjoying the weather outside or working on festival events. Yuko isn't here either. Maybe she doesn't work on Saturdays. I quietly walk through the library, now familiar with its layout. I head to the back where Hanako's private little corner is. I run my hand along the spines of the books on the way through, feeling the individual texture of each as I glance across the titles. I used to do this all the time at the library and the hospital. Some things never change, I guess. Like the smell of a library, no matter how much care you take, the paper in the books is always going to degrade with time. Probably, no matter which library you go into. Anywhere in the world, it must have the same musty smell. I find something that looks light enough. I have to do something. I'm sorry. I have to plug in my headphones. They're dying on me. It's all bad. It's all bad. Shit, come on now. Are we good? We're golden, Pony Boy. We're gonna say that we are, even if we're not. I find something that looks light enough to read without any major thought involved, and then look for Hanako in the reading area. There she be! Once again, she's sitting on a beanbag with her back to a bookshelf, reading through the same book she'd had in the classroom. She's slowly making her way through the pages. Unlike last time I saw her here, I quietly take a seat in a beanbag. The noise is enough to catch her attention, but not startle her. This delicate routine must be followed each and every time I try to talk to her, and it almost feels like hunting game. Is that the same book as before?
Yes, I'm almost finished.
Cool, brah, that's totally radical. I wonder if I should... Do you mind if I borrow it when you're finished? My mouth is faster than my mind, it seems. Dude, I know the feeling!
Sure, you may not like it, but...
I'm sure it can't be that bad. After all, you've stuck with it, haven't you?
I guess.
I settle into my beanbag and set about reading my own book that had been buried in my bag. It's a light novel about pirates. To be honest, I'm barely skimming over the words, having chosen the book merely because it belongs to a different genre than I usually read. Well, don't you feel so good about yourself? I read bigger books, not little light novels. I'm so fancy. So you can calm down, good sir. Got any James A. Michener books? I fucking love those books. See, this is one of those things, because I'm one of those people, I'm detracting from the thing again. I'm one of those people who owns a fuckload of books and doesn't even read them. Just like, I used to read a shit ton when I was younger, and then just, I can't read as much anymore. It's not like I can't read. My eyes are fucked up. Yes, I have to wear glasses. My eyes are so unbelievably fucked up. But it's more that I have so many goddamn books, there's no fucking way I could even get through them, so I don't even bother starting. I just like having books because it makes me feel smart, and I like the books, and I'm one of those people who, is there anyone else who's like this? Who just cannot deal with, like, digital versions of shit? Like, when it comes to video games, almost always I have to have a physical copy. I have, like, a whole big fucking thing full of just games over here on the side. Same thing with DVDs and all that shit, and with books. Books is the worst. Books is the worst. Like I said, I don't read. Books are absolutely the worst. Because, like, I can't, like, I've always wanted to be like, I just pick up, like, a Kindle or something, and then I could just have them all in the book. I can't do that. Because, like, I hate the fucking way it feels. I need to have, like, a fucking book in my hands. I need to feel the pages. I'm tactile. I need to get in there, all up in that, like it was... Shit. But I need... Also, that was some fucked up hyena laugh right there. But point is, I'm one of those people who really has to have, like, physical books, and I have so goddamn many of them, and I don't ever fucking read them because I don't have time. I don't ever have time anymore to just sit down and read. It's always like, I'm one of those people who has to be doing 2 things at once. Like, even here playing this game, it's like, I have to be performing in a way. I have to be, actually, because I have to actually do the shit. It's one of the things that's making, I actually really enjoy about making videos here on the channel is it allows me to kind of multitask in a way, because not only am I just playing a game, which is always fun, I can still kind of do that because there's enough going on usually in a game, but it also allows me to multitask, and I have to be doing something. I have to be talking, I have to be thinking about shit, I have to constantly be working on putting shit together and things like that. It's a good way to keep your mind always doing something. And for me, when I'm reading, that's just, I can't, that you devote so much to one specific thing, and it bothers shit out of me. It's why I have a big TV monitor that I have, and I also have my laptop monitor, because I have that so I can like watch something and write. Or I can do, I always, like, even when playing a game, I have to be watching something in the background because I have to always be having 2 things going at a time because my brain's fucked up. So yeah, no, like, number 1, don't read but got tons of books. Number 2, I'm fucking weird. Today you learned with Shannon L. Shook. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's see what we learn then, huh? Shit. What time is... Okay, I just wanted to check real quick. Finding it hard to muster enough enthusiasm to finish the book, and noting that I've inadvertently distracted Hanako quite a bit, I decide to try and make conversation. It's fucking hot in here, by the way. I'd just like to point that out to no one who can tell, because you're not here and you... Or are you here? Are you a ninja? You're behind me right now, aren't you? Just knocked my fucking headphones off like a goddamn idiot. I try to make decent conversation. So, I see Lily left without you. She nods before taking her eyes off the book. She must have been really into it after all.
Lily said she had to go and meet someone.
Oh. Oh!
Akira, her sister.
Sister? Sister? I ain't never heard her talking about no family. No.
She and Akira used to live together.
I thought all the students lived in the dorms.
I mean, we don't have to.
But it's easier, right? I mean, there's food here and you're close to school. I don't think I'd ever been to class on time so often in my life. Her badly hidden smile proves to be quite rewarding. Look at her smiley face. It's adorable. Okay, sorry. In the back of my mind, I know I have a bit of homework to catch up on, but it's quite comfortable in here. No one can find me and force me into working for their pet project either. Though now I'm thinking about the festival, another question comes up. Hey, Hanako, what are you doing for the festival? For a split second, I think that Hanako is about to throw her book in the air from shock.
Sorry?
I was just asking what you were doing for the festival tomorrow. Anything planned?
I don't know.
Hanako answers in the way that people do when they don't want you to ask any more questions. I take it large crowds and large music aren't really her thing. Oh, okay. Change the subject, fix it! Okay. So, what's Lily's sister like?
She's nice. She's pretty like Lily, but she dresses businesslike.
Businesslike? She wear a suit! Shoes and a suit! Okay,
She's always wearing a suit.
Ah, I see. And that makes her less pretty somehow? Hanako gives an embarrassed shake of her head.
No, just different.
I'll admit it. This has got me intrigued. I have been intrigued. You had my... What's the fuck? You had my intent... Nope, shit, I keep trying to say intention. You had my attention, but now you have my curiosity. There we go. Got it, we're good. To hear Hanako talk about someone other than Lily is a first, and to be complimentary about it too. But as I try to picture this mystery sister, all I can think of is Lily in a suit. And I can't imagine that not being attractive. Not at all. I get what you mean, my man. Yeah, no, I got you. Well, one day you'll have to introduce me to her.
Okay.
Our brief conversation ends as abruptly as it started, and we both return to our novels. The passage of time is marked only by the gradual movement of a patch of light cast through the window. Fucking mouth, man. Slowly, the noises from the various rehearsals in the building fade out and die as Jesus Christ. As students... I don't know why I was like that. Like, fade out and die. It was going so well, and now I just keep dipping off into other shit because my brain just... It goes great for so long, and then just immediately stops being good, and then it's all bad. Just thinking about that makes my stomach start to turn knots around itself. I think it's time to head back. I have a stutter, apparently. Do you think Lily would be back by now? I think I might head back for my door. I'm pretty tired from this week. And not a word of that is a lie. Moving to a new school as it ramps up for a major event has been taxing, to say the least. I can feel myself nodding off as I read my book.
Okay, I might stay here a little longer.
Looking at Hanako's book, I can see that she's only a few pages away from completing it. For a moment, I consider hanging around till she finishes, but once again, my stomach turns, emitting a gurgling sound. Sorry. Sure thing. Well, I'm gonna head off before it gets too dark. I'll see you around, okay?
Okay. See you, Hisao.
Later.
Hisao?
Hmm?
Thank you for hanging out with me.
Oh, my heart! Oh, it's melting like a jelly. Like if you stick a jelly in the microwave. Oh, my goodness. I can see how hard it was for her to get that simple sentence out of her mouth. It leaves me hanging for a moment. So, there is someone in the school who's even lonelier than me. Maybe lonely is the wrong word. I haven't been lacking company for the first week, but I've still managed to feel somewhat alone and detached. Maybe lonely is the wrong word for Hanako, too. She has Lily, after all, doesn't she? I realize I've been standing there far too long without answering and pull off a flawless, not too exaggerated smile. You're welcome. Good night, Hanako.
Night.
I leave her to finish her book and head back to the dorms in the promise of food. Rin, Tezuka, I think was her last name, from our school. She stiffens at the name and gives a complicated-looking expression, something like a forced fusion of a composed smile and painful cringe. Ah, I understand. I guess Lily knows Rin, too. Yeah, I just know everybody. I'm just chilling. How you doing? You come here often? I don't. Where is here?